Hello and welcome back to Pactolas. My name is Shivu and this is the review of Shaka Ilembe Season 2, Episode 4. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. One thing that has been consistent about Season 2 is how engaging each and every episode has been. I mean, I am glued to my screen literally for the entire episode from start to finish. And that's saying a lot for episodes that are 50 minutes plus. Shout out to Shaka Ilembe for single-handedly increasing attention spans across the country. But I think I've figured out how they're able to draw your attention and keep it for so long. It's the multiple storylines that you follow in a single episode. Let's do a recap for episode 4. Mbopha begins his duties as Shaka's Insila. Dingiso declares war on the Ndwandwes and asks Shaka to help him. Shaka gathers his army and gets them ready for war. The Zulu women are also helping to strengthen the army. They are being led by Queen Nandi. Nomahlanjana catches Sikunyana and Hlechiwe red-handed and he goes crazy. That's another thing. I think we're seeing just how crazy Nomahlanjana is. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree in this case. We meet the Khumalo clan when Mzilikazi's fathers come and visit Zwide to ask for Mzilikazi to return home. There's a story here with Mzilikazi, and it's just not clear what it is, but there's tension between the Ndwandwes and the Khumalos, and somehow Mzilikazi plays a very big role in this. Anyway, Queen Ntombazi and her granddaughter go to Oyengweni to begin peace talks, and they bring with them cattle and Ntombazana as peace offerings, but they have no intentions for peace. Next, Nongila is sent south to scout the British along with Ngwadi. This has to be like one of my favorite parts of this episode. The comedic relief that Ngwadi brings to the show is always welcome. Then we also have romance brewing between Shaka and Liana. And finally, we have Dingiso playing right into the hands of the Ndwandwes and falls for their traps by agreeing to marry Ntombazana. That's 9 different storylines in a single episode. I mean, if you blink, you might just miss one of them. For this review, though, we're going to look at just 2 of these storylines. First is probably the most frustrating part of this episode, and that was seeing how easily Dingiso got played by the Ndwandwes. I felt like I was watching a horror movie where the characters are doing everything wrong. Like, no, don't go into that dark room when you know there's an intruder in the house. What are you doing in there? Don't go and check out that sound. You're in a creepy house. Like, get out, leave the house. Don't go check out that sound. And please, can you please not split up? Why would you split up? That's how you ensure that you're gonna die. Don't you know there's strength in numbers? That was literally me the entire episode because I just couldn't believe how easy it was for Dingiso to fall for the Ndwandwes traps. What's even more annoying than this is the fact that Dingiso acknowledges that the Ndwandwes are tricksters and they're people that shouldn't be trusted, yet he walks straight into their traps. Like, I just found myself in this episode asking myself, why would the writers do this? Why would the writers make Dingiso go out like that? I mean, they're doing the guy dirty. And that's when I remembered that this isn't just a made-up story. It's based on historically true events. The writers aren't just making things up to add spice to the show and add drama. Well, that's what you think, right? But here's the problem. When you're trying to retell historic events, you run into one problem. You were not there. You're not there for the conversations between people. You're not there to see Ngwadi annoying Nongila. You're not there to see that Ntombazana is actually a freak. You are not there to see Shaka falling in love, and you are certainly not there to see Dingiso getting duped by the Ndwandwes. All you have are stories which were sometimes not written down until long after the events occurred, so you might have some contradicting accounts or some missing information. You also have historical and academic texts which record verifiable historical events. In the case of Shaka Zulu, there are books such as Shaka Zulu by E.A. Ritter and The Washing of the Spears by Donald R. Morris. But even with this, some records may still be missing, especially those around personal relationships, conversations, and motives. And to fill in these gaps, this is where writers start to make use of creative license. Creative license in historical depictions is often used by writers for a few powerful reasons. Number one, it's to fill in the blanks. So exact details are often lost or debated, so writers will fill in the gaps to make the story more complete. For example, we may not know what was said between Shaka and Senzangakona, so writers can imagine conversations and dialogue that convey the emotional and political weight of their relationship. Number two, it's to create emotional impact. Historical records don't always show how people felt and what they struggled with internally, so creative license allows writers to explore the psychology of characters and build empathy in the audience. Third is to weave a cohesive narrative. So history is messy, and events don't always happen in neat, dramatic sequences. Some characters come in and out without resolution, and some conflicts can drag on for years. So to make the show more watchable and digestible, writers will condense timelines. They will combine real-life people into a single character, sometimes known as a composite character, or they'll introduce fictional events to make the story go along. That raid that the Ndwandwes did on the Mthethwas where General Buza died, yeah, that may have never happened. But it helped to show us Sombeli's internal conflict with betraying his family. It also helped to drive the narrative of the Ndwandwes' plots to take down the Mthethwas, and it also pushed the story along. That's one of the ways that writers make use of creative license. And the final reason that writers might make use of creative license is to make a show or a movie commercially viable. Let's be honest, TV shows and movies need to be entertaining to survive and to turn a profit. And historical accuracy alone doesn't always sell. I mean, audiences want romance, we want rivalry, we want mystery, we want action, we want drama. So creative license allows writers to bridge entertainment and historical accuracy. There's actually a great interview that was conducted by Lebohile Maboja, where she interviewed the writers and producers of Shaka Ilembe. And in this interview, they touch a bit on the idea of creative license. If you have the time to check it out, I would definitely suggest that you go watch it. I'll leave a link to that interview at the end of this review. Now back to creative license. After learning all of this and how writers can sometimes put things in there that were not historically accurate, I found myself asking, so what was true and what was not true? What actually happened and what was made up? Does it even matter if the story is entertaining and we get to the point of all the events? I don't know. I'll leave that one up to you to decide. All I know is that the events of episode 4 highlighted that Dingiso is aging and losing his sharpness. A younger Dingiso would have never fallen for the Ndwandwe's traps. He would have taken Shaka's massive army and gone to war with them. That's the other standout for me in this episode. It was just the sheer scale of Shaka's military operations. From adapting military weapons to fit his battle style and battle strategies, and also conquering other nations and then having their men enlisted into his army. This guy is building a massive army. This is just one of the ways that Shaka is building a strong and powerful kingdom. There's 2 more things that he could do to further build his kingdom, just by the way. And we discussed this in the review of episode 2. If you haven't checked that out, I'll also leave a link to that at the end of this review. Anyway, seeing Shaka's army was important to have the audience understand just how huge it is. It's laying the foundation for all of the battles that Shaka will be involved in, and it will also substantiate his military power. But we'll just have to wait and see about that. So yeah, that is it for the review of episode 4 of season 2 of Shaka Ilembe. What did you think? What were your thoughts about the episode? What were your thoughts about the events that took place, everything that went down? And what did you think about this review? What do you think is real and what do you think is creative license? Like, I'm actually reluctant to check out what's real and what's not real in the story because I think that might just ruin it a little bit for me. Just doing research for this review, it broke my heart a little bit to know that some of the events were not actually true. You know, the characters that I love, the storylines that I really enjoy. So I think I'm going to stay away from doing too much research in that department. Anyway, I will see you for the review of episode 5. Until then, bye. But this one took a minute. Poet up in the building, MC up in the building, don't play with me. It has begun. Why can I not speak anymore when I need to record? Shut up. We're gonna do this. It's gonna be done. Okay. Ish. Why again? I need composure. That's what I need. Mbopha begins his journey. His journey. Where's Mbopha going? I'll tell you where he's going. Where nobody wants to go. And us Shapa. Who's Shapa? Girl, you can do this. You're gonna do this. You're doing this, okay? You've got this. They're doing you dirty, Dingy. Dingy! They're doing you dirty, boy.